guys, welcome back to another fun conversation with your favorite tech girl, aka me. And in today's video, we're going to be covering the ways you can use AI to get a job. Well, isn't that weird given the World Economic Forum just said that by 2025 the world will lose around 85 million jobs due to AI? Well, you can get a job through AI as well, and I will tell you how, because I have gotten one too. So come along and we'll learn more in this video. But before we get started, hi, quick introductions. My name is Aarushi. I have about 7 years of experience building tech products. In these 7 years, I've worked as a developer, as a product manager, as a marketer, and now as a content creator as well. And in this channel, I bring to you all the things that I have learned in my 7 years. I've switched multiple roles, I've switched multiple geographies, and I try to be the mentor that I didn't have during my time. Well, I did have a lot of mentors, but I didn't have one at the beginning of my journey, and that's what I want to bring to you, all of you. So beginning today's video, today we want to cover how you can use AI to help you through your journey of getting a job. Now there are a few obvious ones which we will cover, but there are a few that I discovered during my journey of getting into Amazon, which I would share with you as well. So let's get started. Let's go through the entire journey of getting a job and let's see where we can leverage AI. I primarily use ChatGPT, but a lot of other AI tools can also be used, like ChatGPT and Bard. Well, Bard is not as good as ChatGPT in all aspects, but well, Bard is good enough as well. So ChatGPT and Bard can be used interchangeably, but there are a lot of other tools out there which can help you create more content visually that you could try as well, and I will link to them also in the section below, and I'll also mention them as we go through. So starting with the first most obvious one, I think you must have read it, heard about it at a lot of places, which is your resume. But how does one actually go about making a resume? A couple of things. Number one, feed your JD to ChatGPT. Just copy paste to the entire thing and put it onto that console and let it know what's the job that you're looking for. Tell it this is the job description that I'm applying to, and then just share it across. Then tell it that these are the things that I have done to apply to this job. Once you've given him those points, now you ask ChatGPT to set up your resume points. Tell it to draft it in a certain structure. Maybe you can tell them that, okay, I worked in, let's say I was applying to Amazon. I can say that I worked in ads. I have led a team of XYZ number of people. I've delivered this kind of impact, and I have delivered that impact doing A, B, and C. Well, that's something I'll have to give. Obviously, it doesn't know about my experience, right? But once you've mentioned that, you've mentioned the JD as well. What ChatGPT does really well, it's at the end of the day a LLM, a large language model, right? So at the end of the day, it understands language really well, language from your JD and language from what you've given to it, and it understands the core words from the JD and from your experience and marries them both together really well and gives you your resume points. It also structures it well, so you can pick out the right structure to go for a resume and draft a nice one. It also gives you certain metrics that you should add, which is very important in any resume. You can also refer to my video that I've done before on making good resumes. So it gives you those points as well and how to put across a very smartly written resume point. So that's point number one, getting resumes. Second point is networking. I have done several videos, mentioned several times about the importance of networking while you're going for the interview process, and it helps you really well draft that networking message. You can mention who you're writing to. You can mention a few things that you feel will stand out. If you mention, for example, if somebody was reaching out to me and they mentioned about one of my videos, what they learned through it, well, I might read through it and respond to them, right? So you can mention, a video or some post that this person might have put across, or the work that this person might have done, and try to curate a nice message through ChatGPT. But make sure, sometimes ChatGPT gives very studious or bookish messages, so you should just maybe probably write over it or edit it a bit to make it sound like that you have written it, but it gives you a good place to start from. So that's point number two, your recruiting or your networking messages. Part number three, which is, I don't know if a lot of you know or would have thought about it, but I did that a lot during my Amazon time, which is when you get an assignment. I got a written assessment. Sometimes you get presentations to make, you might get a problem statement. Well, take that to ChatGPT. Obviously, I wrote my own example, I wrote my own idea, and I wrote my assessment, but I asked ChatGPT to assess it from a perspective of Amazon's written assessment. Now, it had all the knowledge of the internet, so it knew what Amazon expects, and it did evaluate my answer. It gave me a few pointers. I improved it from there, and then again to get to a point where it was good enough. Obviously, you have to start yourself, you have to start at some place, but you can look at that critique, you can look at that fine tuning of the content through ChatGPT, and you can use that again for your assignments, all sometimes even for some kind of data crunching. But again, make sure that you don't rely completely on it. It is a tool, it's like Excel that you could use, but you should be able to understand what the system has done, because the system is still not it's not error free, it's error prone. So you should be able to evaluate if the answer is correct or not, if it's in the right ballpark or not. But you give it a check, but you can ask it to give you the first draft, or you give the first draft and ask it to critique it a bit and improve upon it. So that's where I heavily relied on ChatGPT. I used it a lot to help me figure out how to get through the right next step. And the second place where I used it a lot, and I think a lot of you, I don't know if you already are, but for mock interviews. Well, getting someone to take a mock is hard, but I do believe that mocks are really critical towards getting that interview done. And for that, obviously I gave mock to a real person. I couldn't have relied on luck or just ChatGPT here, but I did a few rounds through ChatGPT as well. I asked it to ask me follow-up questions about my interview or about the experience that I narrated, and based on the follow-up questions that it asked me, I fed my answer, and then it went across. And I also asked it to rate me on where I was lagging behind and so on. So that obviously it was all written, but it gave me the ideas to think through. It gave me areas where my answer was not covering to the maximum, and it gaps in my answers, and it also helped me think through basic situations where I would have otherwise faltered. So I think ChatGPT can be a very big help for you, or ChatGPT or any AI tool can be a very good help for you in this part of your journey. Now coming to another part, which is post your interview, you also have to do negotiations, and those are really hard. I mean, going and asking an HR for more money, it's not always the most fun conversation to have, right? Plus, you don't always have the right ballparks. You sometimes are a little bit worried because that's like your dream job or something that you're really interested in taking. How do you have that conversation in a way where it's positive, it doesn't lead to the offer getting revoked, and it gets you what you want? Well, again, go back to ChatGPT and ask it for pointers, and also have that conversation with it. Try to mimic it, try to mock that conversation so that you have some confidence, how you will put across your points. This part really helped me, because it gave me, I don't know how, but it sort of was a therapist for me at that point. Gave me the confidence to go ahead and ask for what I expected, what I thought I deserved. And it also helped me do some research. Again, like I said, Bard helps you in these points where you can research on what are the right salaries for the given region, for a given tech role, or for a product role, whatever kind of role you're looking for in a particular company. It gives you all of those inputs. Obviously, there are websites on, there's a website called levels.fii, which gives you results about different organizations and different positions in that company, what salary you can expect. But finding those websites is hard, and Bard and ChatGPT really come handy when it comes to that. So this is the entire funnel of how AI can help you actually get a job. Well, we'll see when the day comes when it actually takes away jobs. It's happening, I wouldn't deny that, but well, it's also helping you get one. So let's look at the positive side and get a job, my friends. So that's it for this video. If you like the content, please hit the like button and share it with your friends who might like it as well, and comment on the section below and tell me what else do you want me to make a video on. And with this, we end this video. I'll see you in the next one. Ta-da!